Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to the Hot Stocks Outlook for November 10th, 2016. So very exciting month in the market, just getting through the presidential elections. And this is a really great time to demonstrate really the power of utilizing intermarket analysis and how important it is for traders to have tools that really work and are consistently accurate regardless of if markets are going up, going down, whether there's a presidential election, their earnings reports, or FOMC statements, or interest rate changes, and all these sorts of things to make sure that they're making good trading decisions day in and day out for the markets that they're trading. So I have a few opportunities, a little bit more than usual. If you want to learn a little bit more about the technology, definitely go watch a previous video, learn a little bit about intermarket analysis and how this technology generates essentially these predictive indicators based off of that technology, this type of artificial intelligence of neural networks. Very interesting stuff. But I want to focus more on really the use for traders, how they can use this day in and day out, and use essentially the predictive forecasts here to make better trading decisions here. So I have a chart open here for GameStop. And so what we know is that, behind the scenes, Vantage Point is weighing the 30 intermarkets that are known to drive, influence, and impact GameStop stocks. So this could be ETF markets, obviously the S&P 500, the oil markets, energy markets, interest rates, the dollar index, currencies around the world. But how traders really need to use this information is in a very simple way and really understand, what are these predictive indicators predicting and how can that help me with my overall trading, right? So we have a blue line and a black line against the price data here. And also very important to understand that these are daily bars and candles. Software works off of end of day data. Pretty much in the evening after the markets have closed, you're going to be able to open up the software, see essentially new predictions for what's expected to happen over the next couple of trading days. So let me show you exactly how these short-term forecasts work. Now, against these daily bars and candles, you see that we have a black line here and also a blue line. Now, that black line is a regular moving average, an SMA simple moving average. It just takes the last however many closed prices, 5, 10, 15, averages them together and essentially plots that line. So it's single market analysis, only taking price data from GameStop, and obviously only using information from what's already occurred in the marketplace. So it really just actually summarizes what's really occurred in the market over that given period of time. Now, against the price data as well, we also have a blue line. Now, that blue line, for that value to be generated, Vantage Point is doing that heavy lifting behind the scenes. It's looking at what are the ETF markets that are related, to GameStop doing? What are the related stocks within the equity markets? What are currencies doing? What is the overall indexes doing? What are other international indexes doing? All these things very important and drive future prices of equities and individual shares of companies here. So how traders can use this information is whenever they see that blue line cross above or below the black line, they know that that's a trading opportunity. Essentially what that's telling traders is there's been a trend change in this market and you want to get in at the beginning of a trend change. You want to get in early so we can take advantage of the move as this market trends lower or higher in the marketplace. So there's some really great scanning features in the software that actually present which markets are having those fresh crossovers, so really easy for traders to identify. But as long as that blue line remains below the black line, you're expecting prices to continue to move lower. So very straightforward. Essentially, we're looking at a comparison between an actual moving average and a predicted moving average, again, generated via that technology, that artificial intelligence, looking out at those inner markets that affect GameStop here. Now, if we look at the very bottom of the chart here, you see that we do have another indicator here. Now, this indicator is called the predicted neural index, again, generated via that predictive data from those intermarket relationships. And what we're looking at is we have a value of a 1 or a 0. So, this is actually what we'd call a very binary output, right? 1 or 0, yes or no, either right or wrong. And what it's doing is it's looking out 48 hours ahead, essentially 2 candles, you can think of that. And what it's doing is forecasting short-term strength or weakness over that 48-hour period. So, when you can identify trend and also have a high probability of over the next 48 hours here, do I want to be a buyer or a seller? very, very important information for day traders, swing traders, if you trade options. But the whole point is just making sure that you're trading in line and your actions match the very accurate forecast of the predictive software here. So we see that, off of this forecast here, as long as a trader gets into this market, maintains their position, this market moved down about 15% over about 10 trading days. So a pretty nice move. And we see that actually blue line crossed above the black line, telling traders, hey, look to get out of this market. Actually, probably would have gotten out at the open, making it about a 16 or 17% move. But we see that neural index held lower, saying, look, you want to keep shorting this market. There's not going to be much movement higher as far as short-term price movement until we get to this point, essentially saying, hey, 48 hours in the future, you may start seeing that short-term strength. So make sure that your trading strategy matches that. So far, we've actually had a really nice move higher since that crossover to the upside. So you see crossover to the upside, neural index up at a 1, so forecasting strength over essentially this 48-hour period of time moving forward. And sure enough, the market's moving higher in line with that forecast. But certainly traders, regardless of the markets you trade, don't want to be sitting around for a 15% decline in the markets, and a great opportunity to hedge yourself with options and make money that way, or just go ahead and short the shares and make money that way as well. So let's go ahead and move forward. And what I really want to demonstrate here, they're really different concepts that are extremely helpful to really almost any type of trader out there to understand, hey, where are my probabilities at to find a better trade here in the market, and make sure that in the short term, I'm not really getting tripped up off of a shorter term price action, and I can stay consistent with what I want to do in the marketplace. So here, level 3 communications. And what's interesting about this is actually a buyout offer. Someone came in, made an offer out on the company. This happens oftentimes in markets, but regardless of what's going on, you want to make sure that you have tools that are consistently accurate, whether it's presidential elections, buyout offers, earnings reports. And so you see here, we'd gotten this crossover of the blue line over black line way back here several weeks ago, saying, look, the trend is to the upside. You wouldn't want to be shorting a market where the trend is to the upside. Go ahead and act accordingly. Now, this neural index is 48-hour forecast. Remember, it's only looking 48 hours ahead. Very, very high level of accuracy. You see how it really works in these 48-hour periods. If you're getting that strength over these 48-hour periods, but it quickly says, hey, there's going to be some weakness in the market. And you see for several days, not much happening and actually getting price action moving lower and lower. But that blue line's still above the black line. So you're not going to short the market. You're not getting out of your position as a trend trader. But you want to go ahead and make sure that you obviously are in that market, not shorting that market, and not getting any mixed signals from short-term price action where you can expect the weakness, but don't really get mixed up as far as directionally trend. How do you want to be positioned in this market? You see really nice opportunity to the upside so far. But let's take a look at this. Blue line still remained above the black line, even with all this volatility. And you can even see here about an 18% move higher, but how this neural index holds up. So, once that neural index gets back up to a 1, it's telling you become a buyer again over the next 48 hours. And you see the strength in that short-term price. So that's what can help traders. Again, if you're a day trader, short-term options, it's going to help you make better trading decisions day in and day out. And that's really going to lean those long-term probabilities in your favor in a big, important way. So let's go ahead and move through these next opportunities a little bit more quickly now that you got the hang of how these forecasts work here. So I brought these two up because these were in a previous video. So if you want to go back and watch some previous videos, you see a lot of these markets that we continually update the forecast for. But here is Genuine Parts saying, look, go ahead and look to short this market. And, this was huge because this market moved down significantly, about a 10% move from, crossover to crossover here. But I want to actually, show you really a comparison here of why this is so important to help traders make better trading decisions where, over this move, you really wanted to be short over the duration of this. I mean, certainly when you've got things like this, coming through the pike, 8% move in about 3 trading days, you can't really make money being long in a market like that, and want to be knowing, hey, over these 48-hour periods, look to short, look to exploit the short side of the market. So recently, actually last night, we get this crossover to the upside, and sure enough, this market trading much higher. So you've covered those shorts, you're taking profit on them, moved on to other things. But another market that came through that would have been a good, shorting opportunity was DNB here. And we see same thing, great opportunity to short this market over these months. But look at the difference here in the current forecast here. So market down about 12%. But what I wanted to demonstrate here is, DNB here, very, very weak here. Neural index down at a 0. You've not great at trading opportunities for any short-term traders, any trend traders. You don't want to be getting long there, but genuine parts here actually trading up here at 92 because you've gotten all that strength from the neural index, from that forecasting that short-term strength over these 48-hour periods, that crossover saying trend is over, get out of the way. You can hold out your shorts on something like DNB, but not on something like a genuine parts. Take that 12% move or 10% move and move on to something else. Lastly here, just another great benefit of the software, how it can really help you understand where's the interest in the market, where am I likely to get the move, the big move I'm expecting here. The software, has these great scanning properties. So these crossovers come through and let you know, hey, Eastman Chemical just had a recent crossover. You want to take a look at this. And so it really helps you identify similar stocks doing similar things, right? So I have Eastman and Huntsman Chemical. These markets, generally trade in tandem. And so when you understand, hey, I'm getting a crossover here in Eastman Chemical, let me look to go ahead and get long. We see the, short-term forecast doing just a great job here saying, look, a lot of strength over these 48-hour periods where you really want to be long the market, getting these gaps higher, these big moves higher. I think we're probably trading up near this, 75 level here probably today. But when you see these things happening in similar companies, it makes it really easy to say, yeah, let me take some interest in some of these chemical companies here. And we see Eastman and Huntsman here, both with some significant move higher, about 9 or 10% move. I think, again, these are trading significantly higher. And we see all this strength from this neural index. It's telling you, look, be a buyer over this period of time. Be long Huntsman or Eastman during, these through the election. Maybe hold out your shorts on DNB, maybe on GPC, adjust yourself as the forecast change. But you can see how these tools, continually update themselves, really indicate, where the interest in the market is and help you focus on, what should I be doing over this period of time in the market, over this next 2 or 3 days of trading? Should I be adding to my position? Should I be getting out of the market, getting defensive? Just so important for traders to, have tools that, again, are consistently accurate, regardless if the market's going up, going down, if there's elections going on, if Janet Yellen's talking on the TV. So these have just been some of the really great opportunities coming through with these forecasts from VantagePoint. So again, and as always, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for November 10th, 2016. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck in the markets, and bye for now. Thanks again.